Hey guys, so in this video we're going to be going over a heavily requested topic, and that is how to play against high pressure in FIFA 23. We're going to show you the best ways to play around it and some of the common mistakes that people make when playing against a press. So as always, to show your support, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that notifications bell as well so that you know exactly when new content is released. And also let us know your questions and thoughts below on other video topics that you want us to cover, as we always take your comments into consideration when discussing our next videos. So let's get right into it. So let's start off with some common mistakes that people make when playing against a press. Firstly, playing square passes in midfield. Pressing is most effective when the opponent is back to goal, so playing square passes invites pressure. It's also likely to be intercepted as they're running towards your goal. And as you can see, playing a silly square ball in midfield, we're surrounded by 4 players, making it really likely that the ball's either going to be intercepted or taken off us due to being outnumbered. We then do lose possession, leading to a counter-attack, which we do stop, but this could have been avoided by not playing that silly pass. And then another big mistake that people make is trying to play that back to goal sort of pass. You can see in this example, we're being pressed by the attacker, and what a lot of people try to do is try and play a pass sort of reverse backwards to their midfielder, which then goes to get intercepted and can either lead to another goal, another chance being created, or just a silly chance that you might give to your opponent. Again, this is something that can be avoided. So now let's move into some things that you can do to be able to start beating the press. Firstly, a lot of people really neglect to use their goalkeeper, and this is the number one thing that we use in order to beat a press. You need to become comfortable using your goalkeeper in possession in order to successfully beat a press. So as you can see in this example, after we manage to slow down and stop an attack, when our keeper has the ball, you can see our opponent has 6 players high up pressing us, and we have no obvious passing option to give the ball to. And here is where you need to be patient. You need to let your players get up the field and give you an option. It will also allow the opponent's players to drop back and give you a bit more space. But rather than forcing a pass or throwing the ball out wide to your fullback, something that we like to do is just roll the ball or drop the ball at our feet. To do this, you just need to press the triangle button or the Y button if you're on Xbox. And the reason why this works is because the opponent can't come into our box, so we always have time on the ball. And as he begins to press our goalkeeper, he leaves a passing option open, and then we're able to play an easy pass to the open man before starting the attack. This trick is something that we use over and over again. We began to use this because we used to throw the ball out to our fullback all the time, but we kept getting pressured straight away and then we would concede. So this is an excellent workaround if you have that same issue. Another thing that is really obvious when wanting to beat the press is to go over the top of it. You always have the option to go and kick it long. Now some of you may be thinking, but I have short attackers, the defender's just going to win the header. And yes, most of the time this is the case, and you can see in this example, when we receive the ball with our goalkeeper, we have no short pass available as everybody is being marked by an attacker. If we pull up the minimap, you can see that we have our left back open, but we notice that by the time the ball gets out there from our keeper to our fullback, the wing is going to be right on top of us and putting us under pressure. So we just decided to kick it long by using the square button or the X button on Xbox, and this time around we actually win the header and we beat the press to start the attack. It's always better to kick it long and give your team a chance to get into a better shape to defend, even if this means losing the ball by just kicking it long. This is so much better than by forcing a short pass, only to have it intercepted because you're being pressed and then just concede anyway. So before we continue, if you are enjoying the video and you found it helpful so far, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on that notifications bell so that you know exactly when the new content is released. So let's get back into this third tip. Now on the flip side of what we said before, using your fullbacks is just as important as using your goalkeeper when wanting to beat a press. The width that they provide is an invaluable resource, as pressing mostly focuses on just the midfield. And you can see this time again that we have 6 players pressing us, but on the whole it's a bit of a mess offensively and defensively. Our defense and our midfield is all over the place due to being pressed out of position, but the attacker's done a really bad job of pressing us because look at how close all of his attackers are. And this time you can see how open our fullback is for us to just chip a little pass out there, and we did this by just using the square or the X button on Xbox. But more importantly, this time when we pull up the minimap to our fullback, you can see that no one is going to press him after he receives the ball, as the opponent's fullback is only going to press our cam. And this allows us to be able to play that ball out with no stress. However, again, as you can see, we do end up with the ball back at our goalkeeper's feet, but this time around, the opponent makes the same mistake, it's just on the other side. And this is another important thing to be aware of. Being able to spread the ball out wide on both sides is going to give you a much better chance of beating a press. And then they make the same mistake again by leaving that fullback completely open. You can see this time around though, the left winger Haaland pushes in far too narrow, leaving just a simple square ball out there again. And going back to what we said before about how important your goalkeeper is to be able to beat a press, you can see in all of these examples how involved your keeper needs to be. Again, you can see just how open our fullback is when we bring up the minimap. He has so much space in front of him, and you can see that when he does receive the ball, just how much open space he has available to be able to run into that midfield. And this was an absolute picture perfect example of how to beat a press and then incorporate our passing and possession style to be able to turn it into a counter attack and then go on and score a goal to win the game. Now, evidently, learning and perfecting these techniques over time is going to take a little bit longer for some others, but as you can see, once you master these techniques, they can become incredibly effective and not only being able to beat a press, but actually turn it against your opponent and make it work against them. And once you score more goals like this, it's going to make them think twice about doing it again. So as we said earlier in the video, if you want us to continue to make more videos like this, then we do need your support. So make sure that you smash the like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications bells. And also right now, go into the comment section and let us know what topics and videos you want us to cover, as we always read the comments to decide what videos to create next. Now, if you want to ask us any further questions on this, make sure you join our Discord. The links to all of this social media is down in the description. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.